Subscribe to the fl0m Clips and Highlights channel. Here's your recap for day 2. We totally didn't have to record this twice. So we had Cole NRG. Pretty good match as an NA fan. Bit conflicted. Hex actually had a pop-off, if I remember right. Yeah, Hex was banging. Hex was having a nice little pop-off in that one. Also some good banter in that one. Bet Boom Legacy was first. Nah, they wish. We care about the NA teams only here, okay? Axile is still literally trying his best to make sure he always gets outperformed by his IGL. Not really happy right now with Bet Boom, if you could tell. Namiga almost lost to Linvision, but then pulled it back. OG absolutely just throttled Tyloo. I don't know if I've seen a more inconsistent team than Tyloo in a minute. I know it's only BO1s, but it's actually kind of wild to watch them play. They go from being like, all right, we're totally good to totally what in the f are we doing here? And then Heroic FlyQuest was a bit spooky. Safe to say your pick'ems are saved if you had Heroic 3-0, which I think most people did. This was quite the scenario. They almost brought it back 2-0, but then they kind of just handled business once they got the T side of Mirage. Bait Wildcard, probably the best game of the day on Train. If you want to watch a singular map, this one was pretty fun. Otherwise, as you can see from the results, not so fun, especially as an NA fan, but good for my pick'ems. But this was a really good map. Train was really fun. If you want to go back and you want to catch any of the VODs, I would definitely recommend that. Swedish CS is an absolute shambles. I said this in the stream, I'll say it again. Swedish Counter-Strike, I'm so sorry. I mean, I think Metasport literally got like fucking 16 rounds in like 4 maps total. Swedish CS, I feel really bad, and that shit was straight up embarrassing. As an NA fan, I can genuinely relate to that pretty hard. And then we had the 0-3 showdown where some people had Fluxo, some people had Warriors. I had both, so I very much just got to watch the absolute downfall of this one. This game, watching the last like 6 rounds of Mirage will be cinema. This one was pretty good right here. Absolute clown car. But Mirage, Fluxo basically boomed after they tossed the lead, and they just got completely dismantled on Nuke. The interesting thing to me is, while I don't think Warriors will get another win at a best of 3, they really did look like a completely different team at the end of Mirage into Nuke. I don't know what happened, but they look like they settled in a little bit, which makes me excited to watch them in tomorrow's matchup, because they went from like inexperienced team with a lot of young players that's kind of just like letting a lot of rounds slip through their fingers to, okay, they're actually showing some resilience, and then Fluxo mentally collapsed, and then holy shit, they actually look comfortable and they're frying. That was the evolution of this game. That was cool to see. Now we'll get into the matchups for tomorrow. Let me refresh this. So we have Bet Boom Wildcard. So that is now, if you are following my pick'ems, that guarantees your 4th point. We got Heroic, Bait, and then we got Fluxo for 0-3. So we have 3 points already. This will guarantee the 4th point. So if you followed mine, there you go. That's the good news. The better news is, if Namiga wins or OG wins tomorrow following my pick'ems, we're good to go. So we're for sure 4, and we have the potential to finish with 5 points already tomorrow, which is a big deal. But we got Bet Boom Wildcard. I think wildcards look better. I have a clear bias towards wildcard, but I think I'm just a Bet Boom hater right now because their rifler named Axile, that I think is supposed to be that guy, has just never been that guy, and it's sad to see. But I just slight favorite to wildcard, although Bet Boom is always sneaky, man. You can never count them out. And then we have FlyQuest versus Namiga. No clue. Literally no clue. FlyQuest looks like an actual team that can compete with like the top 10 teams or like top 15 teams. Not the top 5. Not the top 5. And then they just look like a team that is just trolling. So I don't know. Never bet against Risky Bob. And if you're like me, call Lear Risky Bob because you're a fake fan. OG versus Energy. Jesus Christ, Nikodas is terrifying. If they play Ancient, it's cooked. I think, is that Energy's permaban? I can't remember what I think it is. So I think that's a good start. It is. We're so back. We're so back. Yeah. So that's a great sign for them. But for the love of God, Nikodas is so terrifying right now. I think OG's got to be the favorite in that one, but Energy have looked much better when they're not playing top 5 teams in the world. Linvision versus Warriors. No clue. Coin flip. Slight edge to Linvision, but ever so slightly. Imperial Legacy. No fucking clue. Probably Legacy? No clue. 50-50. Cole Tyloo. It's going to be my first loss, or actually it's going to be my second team that's going to be wrong because I have both advancing. So I will lose one of them tomorrow. I think Cole takes that. Big boy bias here, but Ty Lue has also been so up and down. Hard to say. Hard to say. They're both 1 and 2 for a reason. I think Cole is a bit more consistent, though, than Ty Lue. But if Ty Lue shows up and plays that good game, like, fuck me. Who knows? Ty Lue can literally just rip anybody's heads off. So that's kind of how I'm feeling for tomorrow. And yeah, to kind of just recap, if you followed my pick'ems, we have 1, 2, and 3 points so far, with a guaranteed 4th tomorrow, and then potentially for 5 and maybe 6 points. Not that it matters, but